favorite. This is my best. So I won't bore you with every rock I own, but I'd like to explain to you what some of these are and why I collected them, why I like them, and a lot of them have to do with the Crater of Diamonds State Park. That's where I do most of my rock and mineral collecting, so most of my rocks are from the state park. One thing about the Crater of Diamonds, you can find other things there besides just diamonds. And this is a unique state park. Some city, state, national parks, you can't pick up a rock. You get in trouble if you take a piece of petrified wood from the petrified forest. But I've collected petrified wood at the Crater of Diamonds State Park, and they encourage you to find rocks and minerals you like and just take them home. People are hauling stuff out there every day, and there's still great stuff to find. I've been finding stuff there for, well, I'd hate to tell you how long, but anyway, I got a lot of rocks, and I usually never leave without bringing home a rock. A piece of conglomerate, a jasper I like, or an agate. Oh, I don't think I have any agates over here. We'll see. Anyway, I'll show you what I do have over in this rock garden, but let me grab the camera and I'll just take you through and we'll show you a little at a time and explain what they are and why I collected them. And the reason I want to show you is you can find stuff like this too. Some of it at the Crater of Diamonds, but not all of it. Now, I want to start out on this end here. And one thing I can guarantee everybody will find at the Crater of Diamonds if they want is a piece of conglomerate. This is just a bunch of jasper. It's considered nature's concrete. And these jasper rocks, many different colors of jasper, I think 24 different varieties of color. Some are red, and we'll look at some red ones in a little bit. But nature cemented them together with iron, and it's called nature's concrete, and that stuff is hard. Don't try to bust one open to find diamonds. It's just would be too much effort. But anyway, conglomerate, and I got a lot of it here. This is navalculite, also known as Arkansas whetstone. You can sharpen a knife on navalculite. It's a type of cryptocrystalline quartz, just like the jasper is. The navalculite I found north of Hot Springs in the National Forest. And now this is petrified wood, and the color may not be as pretty as petrified wood from Arizona or something like that, but that's petrified wood also. You can see the grain. What petrified wood is, it used to be wood, it sat there and minerals leached in, and it's mineral replaced. So it's no longer wood, but everywhere there was a wood molecule or a wood fiber, minerals have replaced it, and it's usually a quartz type mineral. This is petrified wood, and you can see the wood grains in it, and it's just a cool piece. It still has the lamproite on it. This I found at the Black Lick intrusion, just northeast of the Crater of Diamonds. Some of this stuff was found at diamondiferous intrusions, but in Pike County near there. This is not so much petrified wood. Well, it is, but it's almost a carbonized wood. Rather than being mineral replaced like that, it was charred when so the wood was laying there, and the volcano blew up to the top and spewed the diamonds and lamproite out, and it grabbed this wood, and then as it wouldn't burn it, except you have to have oxygen to burn, and that lamproite just smothered it, and as it all fell back down in the crater facies, it just smothered the wood. And this is carbonized wood, and it has quartz in it too, and this is carbonized wood as well. So it was a tree at the time of the intrusion, and maybe we'll have a special on it because I've studied this in depth. But anyway, petrified wood and carbonized wood from mainly the Black Lick lamproite intrusion. But my favorite piece of petrified wood I collected at the Crater of Diamonds, and I don't have it here with me because it's on my desk at home. We live 75 miles from here. This is a big piece of petrified wood. You may not believe it, but look at the, that's wood right there. That is one kind of a stump. This is lamproite. Used to be a real pretty piece. It's laid out here and weathered for 20 years, and Anyway, it's falling apart. It's got a lot of mica in it. I doubt it would have a diamond. Usually if the lamproite has mica, it doesn't have diamonds. It's got a lower probability of having diamonds. Anyway, chunk of lamproite that I liked, and it sat out here and weathered. This is also a chunk of lamproite. Looked just like that. This one didn't weather, sitting right by it, and that one did. So go figure. I don't know. But anyway, a nice big piece of petrified wood. In fact, if you want to look, see the wood grains in this? See, that is wood, or used to be wood. Now it's mineral replaced. It's rock. This rock is a shell conglomerate. Here we have a conglomerate out of jasper. This is a conglomerate of seashells. And what amazes me about a seashell conglomerate is, you know, the geologists tell us there was a shallow sea here at the time of the intrusion. Well, that's evidence there was a sea here. In fact, gypsum, which is sheetrock, you know, your walls at home are probably made out of sheetrock. That is gypsum, and gypsum is a chalk that is made from seashells, and it's in a shallow sea. And one of the world's largest gypsum mine is about 15 miles from here, near Nashville, Arkansas. And so there was a shallow sea there, and a big enough one that it created a huge deposit of gypsum, which is old seashells, and they make sheetrock out of it. Speaking of seashell conglomerate, here is another one. This is just full of seashells, and we collected this actually east of, well, between Murfreesboro and Delight, but east of the Crater of Diamond State Park. And I'll show you maps sometime of the other intrusions in the area. Twin Knobs 1, Twin Knobs 2, Black Lick, the American, the North American, the Timberlands. But this, from the North American, it was on east of it, so it's past all that. But anyway, there were seashells, and that is a conglomerate full of them. I've got some other pieces. Here's a nice chunk of lamproite. This is just leverite, actually. My daughter and I went hunting quartz crystal, and we found a few. We got these at Sweet Surrender Mine that she said, oh, I like that. She was a teenager at the time. So Dad hauled off a bunch of not so great chunks of milky quartz. Some of them have some crystal points in them, like this. You can see the crystal points. So if you come to the Crater of Diamonds, you can also go crystal hunting near Mount Ida and near Jesseville. There's a, as I said, Sweet Surrender Mine, and there's others. Ron Coleman Mine up by Jesseville. Anyway, so I kept this. It's a yard rock, but I've got some nicer ones too. But I'm not too into collecting quartz crystals because quartz is one of the most common minerals and diamond the most rare, so I like to go for the diamond. I want you to take a look at this rock here. I want to make sure you're framed up and looking at it just right with me. It's hard to see. It's so bright out here. But okay. This is a huge chunk of lamproite from the Crater of Diamonds. This isn't your typical lamproite that breaks down and weathers. This thing was dug up in, what was it, 98, 99, something like that, 97. When they did the phase 2 sampling at the Crater of Diamonds, they got in there with excavators, track hoes, and dug, and loaded it up onto dump trucks and took it up to be washed. Well, they hit a vein of this real hard, and this was blue. I mean, baby blue stuff. It sat out and weathered and rusted. It's iron oxidized. It's got some iron in it. But the geologists call it a Mar epiclastic lamproite, in that it came up slowly, and it came up collapsed so slow that the diamonds were resorbed out of it. So there wouldn't be a diamond in there, but still it's a neat chunk. Well, they hauled this by the truckload up to the diamond recovery plant where I worked, and they had to put it through these grates that were 1 foot square, and it was called our grizzly, to go down into a rock crusher. And they would dump these big chunks out there, and they wouldn't go through the 1 foot square, so they had me go out there with a sledgehammer, and everything was wet. We had running water washing this stuff into the plant, and they had me stand on this grate and take a sledgehammer and hit this stuff and break them, and they'd fall down in there, and the rock crusher would get them. Well, I was working at night, the noon to midnight shift, and it was dark, it was wet, and the grizzly grate was muddy, and right below it were these 2 rotating drums with these great big bronze teeth that just swallowed rocks. Well, I was out there swinging a sledgehammer and busting these rocks, and they were going in ka-chunk, and the thing was swallowing it. Well, 1 foot slipped, and I dropped down, and 1 foot dropped on each side of that grate, and fortunately, even though I'm long-legged, my feet stopped right before the grizzly grabbed my foot and pulled me in. So anyway, my foreman, who told me to get in there and hit it with a rock, turned white. He was pale. He thought I was dead. But Bill Wisdom, anyway, he about had a heart attack. Anyway, no more getting out there and breaking the rocks. So they had a bunch of these left over. And when the phase 2 project was done, a geologist told them, look, there's no diamonds in it anyway, so why are we going to all the trouble and expense? And they broke some of the bronze teeth. It was navy bronze, really hard stuff. Broke some of the bronze teeth off of the Galaxy sizer. So they said, we're not tearing up our equipment anymore. We're not going to wash all these rocks. So when they were done and pulled out, these sat up there for a couple of years. And finally, I had them load one up in my trailer, and I brought it home to keep, and that's where it sat. But right now, I'm going to hit this with a sledgehammer. I haven't ever done that, and I've had it for over 20 years. But I'm going to hit it and see if I can flake it off and show you how blue it is under there. Hopefully it's still blue. Let me give it a shot. So I had to put on safety glasses and get the whole sledgehammer. I'm going to give it a whack. Well, that's a hard rock, but can you see that is kind of baby blue under there? Anyway, it was just iron rusty on the outside, oxidized because the air had gotten to the iron in it. But anyway, we'll move on and talk about some of the other rocks I got here before I bore you all and you fall asleep. So showing you my rock collection. The state park for 3 years. We did core drilling, and we would pull out tubes of rock from like 276 feet deep and all that. So anyway, this is tubes of lamproite drilled from depth. And the geology study it, they analyze the core and all that. I'll tell you what they found. This is a big cheap piece of conglomerate, and an excavator dug it up at the American mine site 30 years ago and piled up a whole bunch of these and set them off to the side. What happened is when the intrusion came up and brought the diamonds to the surface, they weathered for a little while, and then because it was in a shallow sea, this beach gravel and sand washed in there, and then iron leached in, and it cemented like a concrete cap on top of the lamproite, and that prevented further erosion. And then about 10,000 years ago, geologists say the concrete cap of conglomerate kind of began to naturally break down and erode some, and then there was some erosion at Greater Diamonds, the American mine where this came, and Black Lick and Twin Knobs 1. I'm going to get the camera and bring you around and show you a couple things on this side I don't want you to miss. pretty neat looking. So this is an odd rock my wife wanted to collect, so she had me pick it up because she wanted it and I carried it. But it is a neat rock and I like it. So we used to have a claim at Dare Mine Knob, is what it's called, in the National Forest north of Russellville, Arkansas. Some professor wrote in a paper that the lamproite there had a kimberlitic mantle source and may contain diamonds. Well, if you say may contain diamonds to an old prospector, that's like saying sick 'em to a junkyard dog. So we had to go there, and I made a claim in the National Forest on the Dare Mine Knob lamproite and had to check it for diamonds. I didn't find any, but worldwide, diamonds are found in 3 types of volcanic material. Kimberlite is the most common, lamproite, and lamproite. Now, the only diamonds that have been found in lamproite worldwide have been micro diamonds. But until you check them all, you don't know if one of them is going to have macro diamonds. You know, in other words, larger diamonds. So anyway, but this rock I just thought was cool. She told me to grab it and carry it and bring it home. It's got these big old holes just weathered out of it. And then, since we're talking about lamproite and lamproite, this is some of the Dare Mine Knob lamproite. You can see it glittering. That is not gold, unfortunately. It's mica. And there's another specimen of the Dare Mine Knob lamproite. It's real fine grained, so even if there had been a diamond in it, they would have been fine grained. But I went out there, we had the claim for a couple of years, and I went out and climbed up the side of the steep mountain and carried buckets and buckets of that down and washed it. Didn't find any diamonds, so we gave up the claim on that. And I thought, well, if the professor really thinks there's diamonds there, she can come and dig them. All right, now, if I get this to cooperate, it's a little windy today, and so you're probably getting some sound off of this. This is more shell conglomerate dug between, or just picked up in a creek bed between Murfreesboro and Delight. And let me tell you, it was well guarded by water moccasins. We walked down this creek bed and saw huge water moccasins in there. So anyway, I've got several pieces, but not an unlimited pile because I didn't think it was worth fighting the water moccasins for it. This is just a type of naboculite collected in the National Forest north of Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I just thought it was pretty, and this too, I just saw it and picked it up. And this is a piece I want to show you. Now, this is from the Crater of Diamonds, and it's 11-pound fossil specimen. And can you see the ice cream cone shaped fossils in here? I took pictures of this and contacted the Arkansas Geological Survey, and here's a fossil. That's where a fossil was. This is one of the like ice cream cone shaped fossils, and there's others in here too. So this is like a conglomerate of this other kind of fossil. And that piece was from the Crater of Diamonds, but another piece was from near here. Let me see if I can zero in on this for you. It's hard, but can you see the shapes of those? I want to, since I found out from a geologist what it was, I wrote this down. I just found an email before I came out here to film, and so I thought I'd speak because I didn't know what it was. And he said, this is Doug Hansen at the Arkansas Geological Survey in Little Rock. He's an expert. He looked at these fossils. Oh yeah, I know what those are. They are a variety of Turritella. Turriletta. Turritella. Most likely the species would be Cassiope brenneri, from the DeQueen Formation, Lower Cretaceous. Anyway, that's what he said back January 2nd, 2009. But anyway, this was collected up by the American mine site, and it looks just like the conglomerate of seashells that I found down at the Crater of Diamonds. But I don't know, kind of cool stuff. Okay, I do have agate. Here's a piece of agate I collected from the Crater of Diamond. I found others, like I call bacon slab agate. I don't know if I've got it out here or in on my desk, honestly. Sometimes I don't leave it outside. This is another piece of agate. Good, I'm glad I had some over here. So you can look for agate. These are fire ants. Don't use them. They like to hide under the rocks. And then when I'm kneeling and talking about stuff, they like to get you. So this is some more lamproite. Lamproite comes in different colors. This is a hard one that has endured out here in many years. And then I've got a bunch more conglomerate. And I don't know, I like conglomerate, and I bring these big old chunks home. Let me show you a little trick about conglomerate. I used to have a tree here, and I cut it down for the firewood, and then there was a stump remaining. And I had my conglomerates around the stump, and where it got hot, it turned it red. I don't know if that brings the iron out in it or what, but these conglomerate are red because they've been cooked in a campfire. So if you like red conglomerate, you can cook some. Oh, there's the stump, or what's left of it. And then another piece of lamproite. This is a hard specimen. And here is some blue lamproite, again a Mar epiclastic from the Crater of Diamonds. And I just love that baby blue color. It's just pretty, I think. But anyway, there are other specimens of lamproite that I like. The textures in them, and all the breccia, the angular chunks, and the lapilli, the rounded chunks. And this has a big piece that was caught up in the volcano and just swallowed into the lamproite. And this is an olive green lamproite where that was blue, and this is black. You got charcoal. I've seen brown and yellow lamproite, but I like the baby blue the best. And it's pretty sturdy, so it does pretty well outside. But anyway, you can see these round. I believe this used to be olivine. It's now serpentine, so it's serpentine after olivine, the round light green pieces in this dark green matter. And then there's, I believe, calcite veins in the lamproite. So anyway, pretty well, that's what I wanted to show you on my rock collection. And again, I appreciate you joining me so we can take a look outside and see the rocks I collected, and you can collect things like this too. I promise you, you go to the Crater of Diamonds, you can find jasper, you can find conglomerate, you'll probably find agate if you look for it, and who knows, maybe petrified wood, or a nice lamproite specimen, or you might find a fossil, all kinds of good stuff. Just keep your eyes open, and you may find quartz, amethyst there. I found amethyst and had a piece cut for my wife. But anyway, rocks are fun to collect, and you can get a yard full of them. Thanks for joining me, and please like and subscribe to our channel.